Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome back to another video. Well, let's check it out. Let's see what I got for you right now. All right, guys. You ask, and I'll give it to you. You want to see cards that are not that popular or you may not be very familiar, and I bring it to you. I follow orders. I follow orders. Now, and I like to give it to all the different brands, a little opportunity. Today it's gonna be Opel Day. Let's give it up. Let's give it a proper presentation. What I got for you right now, it's a 143 scale, 1969 Opel Admiral. What can I tell you about this Opel that I'm not familiar at all? It kind of reminds me of other models, but there we go. So it kind of reminds me of other models, but it doesn't fully qualify as it. There's another. Obviously the Opel Admiral looks like the top of the line. It, I was familiar more with the Capitan and the Diplomat, but it says here the Capitan was discontinued in 1970, so the Admiral and the Diplomat survived until 1977. Okay, so basically this model ran from 1969 till 1977. Okay, and it was literally like the top of the line for Opel. It was like their luxury model they came back then. I love the two-tone color. I'm really, really liking it. I think it was like a type of vinyl roofing on these cars in the real life. So, by the way, engines on this car, you only got one option. So there's not much of options. When it comes to these luxury cars, you don't get seven different engines. Usually, maybe you might get that with like a Mercedes Benz because they cater only mostly to the luxury models. I mean, to luxury like large sedans and SUVs. But Opel is more like a mainstream brand like Fiat, Renault, Peugeot, Citroën. That's the type of market they compete with. So they have different options, but usually for luxury, they're top of the line. They're more limited. From what I noticed, either in other brands too, when it comes to the top of the line. So engines, you have a 2.8 six-cylinder gasoline or petrol engine, however you want to call it, and transmissions, you had a three-speed automatic or you had a four-speed manual. Okay, I see actually from 1972 and up, the manual option was no longer available in the Admiral, leaving only with the automatic as the only option choices. Okay, I like the looks. It kind of it's an attractive looking car. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not sure how popular they were because it does match a lot with other models. Example like the Diplomat, it does give it up very similar looks with the Diplomat. I think the rear end's a little different. So I'm trying to stand Opel. They had the Diplomat and they also had the Admiral. So it was kind of quite competing one with the other. They were basically competing with each other. Hey, if that worked for them, it worked for them. I can't say more than that. I'm guessing, all right? All right, everyone. I'm going to let this nice looking car go around a few times, and I'll be right back. All right, everyone. You know, one thing I was reading before, it was because, as you probably know already, Vauxhall and Opel more or less share their models. But I was reading that Vauxhall, when it came to this model and the also the Opel Diplomat, which was a sister model to this, they Vauxhall did not copy this. They didn't sell this model as a Vauxhall because Vauxhall by then was already dropping their luxury models. They were dropping the they no longer saw interest in producing large executive segments after they stopped building their Cresta Viscount models until 1972, and then they stopped. I guess they didn't see no value, like money making value in their market for them, for those models. So that really didn't help already, because there goes, one segment was not already, like the Vauxhall brand was not taking part of the selling these models either. So that's already a loss for GM altogether, because they all, back then they used to owe Vauxhall and Opel. All right, guys, let me know in the comments below what you guys think about this large German model. Do you think it was a competition for BMW and Mercedes, large cars, or the Audis? Do you think they were no competition at all? I mean, not just because they're large, it means that they are going to compete in that segment. Hey, I leave it up to you. You might know more than me about these models. Unfortunately, I don't recall seeing one in person. I like them. Yes, I do. I like the front end more than the rear end, believe it or not. It gives me, I don't know, more of a distinct looking model. But, I'll leave it up to you. Let me know. Were they reliable? Do you still see them around in car shows, museums? I would love to know more information about this car. Thank you so much for all those nice comments. Thank you everyone for participating in the channel. I truly, truly appreciate. Little by little, we're growing. We almost reaching um 1,850 subscribers. So that's, to me, is already a, you know little by little we're reaching the 2,000 subscriber mark, and that's a challenge, but we're getting there. And thanks to all of you for that support. Don't forget to give me that beautiful thumbs up. Thank you so much. And don't forget to click and subscribe, and click the bell next to the subscribe button. That will remind you when I'm posting more videos. Take care of yourselves, and goodbye.